I scored 94% of the total vote cast. Across the 77 wards, I won all the wards in Edo South. If you have been so generous to me, why can't I give you my all? Even my local government, I didn't get that. I got 86. I could go on and on and on. So, when I had the opportunity to nominate the first ambassador, I nominated Uyi Igbe. And I'm happy of the 12 ambassadors retained. Uyi Igbe, who was our speaker, is one of the ambassadors that are retained. On merit. On merit. So I want to assure you, I apologize for my poor judgment. As they say, you can never know human being until he has money and he has power. Then his true color comes out. So if those who told me that this man will betray, they have turned out to be true. God has a reason for keeping me alive and well and strong, so that working with you, your highnesses, we will correct the mistake and bring someone who will make up for lost time. Everything I was doing for the Eniges, I'm sure Pastor Yamu will return it. Those annual meetings, he will return it.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Politics in Nigeria is, like they say, no be small thing. No, some people say politics. Was it Fela's son who sang politics now big business? No be small thing, no. I hear I'm too loud. Let me just take this down. No be small thing, no. Eh? When it gets to campaign period, that's when you see politicians dancing. When it gets to campaign period, that's when you see politicians singing. When it gets to campaign period, that's when you see politicians preaching. They become preachers overnight. That was the governor of former governor of Edo State and immediate past chairman, national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, comrade Adams Oshomole, and of course also the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, the APC in Edo State governorship election. Pastor Ize Yamo over there. No be small thing, no. Oh my God, I don't laugh, tire. Should I play that video again for you to watch it? Anyway, very good evening to you. Welcome to Late Night Talk. My name is Kofi Bartels. That is not a subject for our discussion, but that is something to give you a bit of something to laugh about. Tonight. I have a question for you. It's simple. When it comes to determining who should be the next president of Nigeria, what should be considered between competence and zoning? Competence and zoning. I'd like you to tell me in the comment section or by calling the number I've advertised on the post. The number to call is 080-620-99556. You can call right now. I'll be very glad to hear from you. 080-620-99556. Let's watch that video again because I want you to see something. Maybe you missed it. And we'll come back and I'll take your calls. Welcome.
I scored 94% of the total vote cast. Across the 77 wards, I won all the wards in Edo South. If you have been so generous to me, why can't I give you my all? Even my local government, I didn't get that. I got 86. I could go on and on and on. So, when I had the opportunity to nominate the first ambassador, I nominated Uyi Igbe. And I'm happy of the 12 ambassadors retained. Uyi Igbe, who was our speaker, is one of the ambassadors that are retained. on merit. On merit. So I want to assure you, I apologize for my poor judgment. As they say, you can never know human being until he has money and he has power. Then his true color comes out. So if those who told me that this man will betray, they have turned out to be true. God has a reason for keeping me alive and well and strong, so that working with you, your highnesses, we will correct the mistake and bring someone who will make up for lost time. Everything I was doing for the Eniges, I'm sure Pastor Ezeyamu will return it. Those annual meetings, he will return it.
Oh my, oh my. Anyway, that's Edo State. That's Edo State for you. But if you're watching right now, I'd like you to, pick a phone and place a call through to us. We're streaming live on Facebook, live on Twitter, live on YouTube, and I guess in a matter of seconds, we should be live on Instagram as well. Feel free to call. When it comes to deciding who Nigeria's next president should be, what should be the paramount thing to be considered? Are we looking at, zoning, or should we consider the competence of the individual? Of course, Nigeria is a very unique country because of the geographical divide or the geographical arrangement in the country. Nigeria is like several countries that have been put into one. Nigeria is such a large country, and it has different. In fact, you can divide Nigeria into 5, and you have 5 different countries, or 6, and you have 6 different countries. So each of the parts of the country already have things to be upset about, things to be angry about, especially those in the southern part of the country. And the zoning arrangement, the zoning formula was created to ensure, it is not enshrined in any law. It's not enshrined in any constitution. It's sort of an unwritten law, just like you have in the UK, unwritten constitution. So this whole talk of zoning came about as a result of the yearnings, agitation, and the desire of all the different parts of the country to be allowed to have a taste of power, to be allowed to have their own piece of the national cake. Sorry about that. I got to take this down a bit. Yes. So that is what brought about zoning. We have the Northeast, Northwest, North Central. We have the Southwest, Southeast, South. So 3 parts or 3 geopolitical zones of the country are down south. 3 geopolitical zones of the country are up north. Now, there is nowhere. Can I have my constitution, please? Thank you. There is nowhere that there's nowhere in the Nigerian constitution where you have, this thing called zoning, or even the geopolitical zones. I haven't seen it anywhere. Please don't make too much noise. I haven't seen it anywhere in the Nigerian constitution where you have anything like zoning. What is zoning? What is zoning? What is zoning, really? I haven't seen anywhere in the Nigerian constitution. This is the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Constitution 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, CFRN 1999 as amended, with the Fundamental Rights Enforcement Procedures Rules 2009 here. I've gone through this constitution, the whole thing. And I haven't seen anywhere where it's written that we have 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Please, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen it written here. It's a creation, and I stand to be corrected. I'll be very happy if you want to call right now and correct me. But I haven't seen anywhere in this book right here. Can you see? Is it clear? Not you, sir. I haven't seen anywhere in this book the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I need to put this on a record so I can play it back later. I haven't seen anywhere here the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, of which I've read every single page. Yes, that there is something called 6 geopolitical zones in the country. I haven't seen it. So, the man in the northeast says is our turn. We've not produced anybody as president for some time. The man in the northwest will say it's our turn. North central will say it's our turn. Southeast will say it's our turn. Southwest will say it's our turn. And south too will say it's our turn. There's nothing like geopolitical zone in the Constitution. Really, nothing. What exactly is this thing called geopolitical zones? Let's look at it. And it's such that each geopolitical zone has 6 states apart from the southeast. That's why the southeasterners feel marginalized. Well, what is the crux of our conversation? What is the basis for this discussion tonight? I want to just show you something. If you've been following activities online, because that's where a lot of things are happening these days, you'd have seen this. This is the face of Maman Daura. Maman Daura is the nephew of Nigeria's president, Muhammadu Buhari. And Maman Daura has been in the news a lot today. He actually was trending on Twitter. You know, when I woke up and checked my tweets and went to what was trending, even though, you know, sometimes through Twitter controls what we see, they won't admit it. But ask Donald Trump, he will tell you. I saw Maman Daura trending. I was like, what's happening? I hope he's not dead. And lo and behold, you know, he was trending because of what he said. This is Maman Daura and his uncle, President Muhammadu Buhari. So, you know, some people repute Maman Daura to be the head of the kitchen cabinet of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Some describe him as Buhari's henchman, you know, the person who does everything, who handles everything, who is in charge of everything. And if you're watching, I'd like to encourage you to please share this post. All right, please share this post. If you're watching on Facebook, you can share the post and drop a comment as well. Very, very important, please. Drop a comment as well, then share this post. If you are watching on Facebook, share the post. Also, hit the notification button so that each time I go live, you'll be notified, and then you can join as well. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet this post. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the post, drop a comment, and share it, because it's very important, very, very important, so that we can have more people, participate. So share the post, comment, and if you want to call, feel free to call 080-620-99556. So what do you think about this? I'll go straight to the comments. But Maman Daura is the nephew of President Buhari. He's also been reputed or been alleged to be the head of the kitchen cabinet, if you want to call it that, the so-called cabal of sorts. So I want to read what This Day newspaper had to say today. It says, reputed to be the head of kitchen cabinet of President Buhari's administration, the president's nephew, Malam Maman Daura, yesterday spoke on the vexed issue of zoning and rotation of the nation's presidency. Zoning and rotation of the nation's presidency. So let's continue. It says, arguing that competence, not geography, should be the determinant of the next president of Nigeria. He said, and is quoted as saying, "This turn by turn was done once, it was done twice, and it was done thrice. It is better for this country to be one. It should be for the most competent and not for someone who comes from somewhere," he told the BBC Hausa service. Dismissing the clamor for power shift, he said it was time for the country to unite and go for the most competent person to lead the nation. According to him, since Nigerians have tried rotational presidency about thrice already, it would be better to go for the most qualified candidate in 2020. In other words, that rotational presidency has not helped us in a way. So he says, whether the person comes from the north or whether the person comes from the south, we need to go for the most competent person. So where do you stand on this is a question I'm asking. Where do you stand on this? What's your thought on this thing called rotational presidency? So let's look at this thing called zoning formula, and let's really break it down. But before then, I want to read your comments. I want to welcome those who are watching online, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Thank you very much. Let's see what we have here. Okay, I can see that Ruben Izo has joined. Ruben, I loved your comment or your contribution on radio this evening with what you're doing in football. I didn't know you become a football administrator. Okay, when they chop the money, remember me. Legbosi is saying good evening to you. Legbosi says that argument is to pave way for another northern president in 2023. We have not matured to the point we can say no zoning or federal character. It will only lead to further oppression and marginalization, he says. So you think we've not matured to the point where we can have that? Okay, interesting. Legbosi, when you say we've not matured to the point where we can have zoning, what exactly do you mean? I'd like you to tell me, what exactly do you mean? How do we mature? How? Are we still practicing a nascent democracy? Are we still having a democratic experiment? You know, we've been on since 1999. Legbosi, we've been on since this current republic has been on since 1999. So is this still a democratic experience or experiment? You know, this democracy has been on since 1990. Look at the comment there. I want to read it again. It says, Kofi Patels, the argument is to pave way for another northern president in 2023. We have not matured to the point we can say no zoning or federal character. It will only lead to further oppression and marginalization. This is what Nigerians have been crying, especially those in the south. So, when you say we're not mature, how do you mean, Legbosi? Are we still embarking on a democratic experiment? We've been hearing democratic experiment since 1999. Is this still experiment? I think we've crossed the line of experiment. 99 to 2020 is how many years now? Oh, sorry. 99 years. 21 years. 21 years. A child that was born in 99 is old enough to have his own child now. Yeah. No be so. Yeah. He can impregnate a woman. So, is this still an experiment? When will we mature? When will we mature? 21 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria. It's never happened. But I understand your point, but I'm challenging you because I want you to also respond to me. All right? Mature how? When will we mature? Like Bossy, send another message. Let's see what we have here. Okay, gotta check. Tubo Kiki Alalibo, please, if I didn't get your name, mention it correctly, I apologize. He says there will be competent people also in the zoning areas, or there will be competent people also in the zoning areas. Let other zones have a sense of belonging. Okay. Good way. Wallace Nane says we have competent personnel across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. In Nigeria, say no to sentiments and injustice. Yeah. So the person who's saying pick competence over zoning, you're saying his sentiment. But you who is saying zoning, we'll find competent people there. You're saying that person, the other person is sentimental and you're not. Oh my God. Ruben Izu Jr. says, God help us, Kofi tells with kind of leaders we have. Nathaniel, thank you. Nathaniel and Garrick Barrow says, you had power and your true color came out. Who is the you now? Is it me? Have you given me power? I don't know. When you say you now, have you given me power? Okay, I'm sure you're referring to those in power right now. Okay. So if you'd like to call in, please feel free to call. I'll just type it here. I think yesterday we had about 2 calls, not to worry. If you want to call, feel free to do that. 080-620-99556 and have your say. And also please share this post so that others can be a part of this. All right, so this is my submission really. I mean, zoning is a phenomenon that came about, but it hasn't been enshrined in the Nigerian constitution. What you have is federal character, and federal character is also it is implemented on the basis of states, because the division that Nigeria has that is recognized by the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended is states. Really, everything is divided on states. We don't have regions. So from the northern region, but I never used that term northern region, because region is also another term for state. You know, we need to be careful the kind of things we use, the kind of terms we use, the kind of words we use. Region is another term or word for state, you know, or province. So when we say northern, is it in the northern state or southern region? You know, or we in the south we want the best for the region. Which region? But the politicians have succeeded since 1999 in dividing Nigeria along geopolitical lines. Think about it. In 1999, did we have all these northeast, northwest, north central, southeast, southwest? We just had in our mind now north and south. Of course, there was southwest because of the leftover, and southeast we knew that from the time when Nigeria practiced the regions. Okay, you know, so you had, you know, the premier of this and that. You had Nnamdi Azikiwe, you had Awolowo, and you had Tafawa. No, not Tafawa Balewa. What's the other man again? Sardauna. Ahmadu Bello. So Ahmadu Bello. Yeah. Okay, so those are the three powerful men, you know, that ruled Nigeria. You had premiers, and then you had the figurehead of the country, who was the you know, the head of state or the president. So we've had a spillover from that, you know, in our mind, even though the constitution doesn't carry it. We know northerners day and day, southeast day, southwest, and even what we call south now was part of southeast, in a way, you know. But of course, Nigeria is a unique nation because you have, you know, different ethnicities, like I said before, different cultural groupings, different languages, and all that. In the north, what is the difference between northeast and northwest? What's the difference? People think that in the north we have just Hausa and Fulani. That's not true. There are several tribes in the north that are not Hausa and Fulani. There are several tribes in the north that are not even Muslim. But Islam is not even a Nigerian religion anyway. You know, there are several tribes in the north that practice Islam, but they have their traditional, you know, customs and rights and beliefs and practices. So, the geopolitical zoning has never been a constitutionally recognized thing. But the politicians, for reasons best known to them, stuck to it in 1999. And therefore you have northeast, northwest, north central, southeast, southwest, and of course south. So I'm looking at the map right now of Nigeria and its geopolitical zones. The north central has Benue State, Kogi State. I think I should put this up so that you can see it. I will do that. But the north central has Kogi State, Benue State, Nasarawa State, Niger State, and Plateau State. How many is that? How many is that? And of course, the FCT is there as well. So let's just put that up so you can see it. So north central, Benue, number 1. Number 2, Kogi. Number 3, Kwara. Number 4, Nasarawa. Number 5, Niger. Number 6, Plateau. And then when you add FCT, it don't reach 7 now. You know, but the FCT was taken from, what do you call it again? From the other states in the north central, and that's how they created the FCT. So it didn't have one state that was Abuja. They had to take from different states to create Abuja, which I'm sure you know about. So that is how those are the states that you have in the north central. So Mamanda Rai is saying we don't need to look at that. We need to look at competence. Look at who the person is. Look at what the person has to offer. Look at what the person is saying on the campaign stage. Look at the track record of the person. Look at the competence of the person. Look at the manifesto of the person and decide who you would choose. We've been doing my brother in Nigeria for a long time now. And where has it gotten us to? We're doing my sister, my town man. This person is from my side. Na Yoruba man, Niger man, na Igbo man. For some time. And it hasn't helped us. Okay. So let's do this. Let's quickly. Let's look at this. All right. So ready, let's go. So as you can see there, North Central has Benue. It's not written there, but it has Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, and then you have FCT. We have a call coming through. Let's see who this is. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, it's Late Night Talk. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Kofi is me, Ruben Izu Jr.
Ruben.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. That football money where you want chop. Remember me, oh. I want to.
Since you don't want to carry me along here, let me start my own somewhere else.
No, we'll carry you. You are carried. You are hereby carried, my brother. You are carried. I carry you.
Okay.
But we'll make things happen. Not to worry.
I am there. I've been waiting for your call, waiting for the day. You said that if I have my face mask and I have it, I'm waiting for your.
No wahala. We'll have you here. So, Ruben, what's your thought on this?
Kofi, let us be very, very frank. There are some certain things that are not enshrined in the Constitution that has actually helped us. And like you said earlier on, even in politics, as a country we are using, they said there are written constitutions and unwritten constitutions. Now, the zoning system is part of the unwritten constitution that we know has actually helped us. And let me just be frank to you. I was about sending that message, but I said I think I can convey my message when I call. Indeed, as humans, we cannot do without the zoning. And the zoning, if you break it down, is what they call turn by turn.
Turn by turn. You chop by chop.
Yeah, and not necessarily the chop I chop. As a humans, you know very well, like as the peculiarity of Nigeria, you are quite informed by history that three major persons were involved in what it takes for us to gain an independence. And from that moment henceforth, these three persons gave us the reasons why we have the Igbo, the Yoruba, and the Ahosa. Now, if you say for the yeoman's reason that zoning is not involved, let me tell you, they say all fingers are not equal. Like as you are there, you might be from the north. As I am, I might be from the east. And like any other person may be from the west. Now, if we should be looking at it from that way, Kofi, you might have more connections and have popularity than me. I might have a little issues when it comes to talking in public. So if we leave that, what the business three of us come together to get, if we look at that is where the country that brought zoning is what in entrepreneurship is called partnership. If you go to partnership, sometimes you discover that the persons who come together to fund a particular business might not be having the same strength financially, but because as at that moment have fulfilled one or two obligations necessary to qualify them as partners, you are entitled to what partnership in its real sense gives to you. And that is what the zoning in the country Nigeria is. It's not necessarily chop I chop. If you leave it to the discretions of humans, you know they say power corrupts, and absolute power, you know what it takes. The northern man, now look at it now. Let us just be frank. Even till River State now, that we have this yeoman's understanding that power goes to the Calabare man, power goes to the Kure man, power goes to the Orashi and Co.
Wait.
I'm just giving you...
In River State?
No, I'm just giving you an example. Like 1999, we came on board. There was a yeoman's agreement, but even at that, is it being kept to the latter? No. How much more when it's not even there?
Mm.
I don't know if you get me. If you say there is no, we know that zoning is not a constitutional thing. Like right from the inception, the Hausa man knows he fought with the Yoruba man to bring Nigeria, and the Yoruba man also knows that he fought with the Hausa and the Igbo man to bring Nigeria. How will you now tell me that for any reason you leave it, that zoning is not involved, that you leave it at the mercy of, okay, if the northern man has the quality? My brother, there are quality people everywhere. You know, there's an insinuation that kind of
so what makes you feel that such an ideology will favor just the northerner?
See, that's why I'm saying I'm talking absolutely in a nutshell. If you say zoning is something that we are not supposed to practice, that we should go for those who are credible. My brother, indeed, I will tell you that there are credible people everywhere. They are credible for people to cohabit, for people to coexist. My brother, you must have what we call unwritten constitutions, and that thing comes sometimes as a verbal agreement. Okay, you are coming from Kofi. Let me just bring it down to your family. Let me bring it down to your family. If you are 6 boys, if you are 6 boys in the family, and all of you are graduates, and your father has a connection that a job opportunity comes, and they say, okay, Kofi, come and take this, and you take. Then another overseas opportunity comes. They say, Kofi, come and take.
They are choosing me all the time.
That's what I'm telling you. You have been favored, even if you are the most enlightened, like they are saying now in quote, wherever a credible person comes from. To your parents, you are more credible and worthy to handle anything that comes. Do you know that it will come to a time that your own siblings will gang up against you?
Okay. So at the end of the day, what happens in families is that they don't zone. One person is chosen. That is why I say. Izu. Now, some families choose the most competent person, the person who can successfully, travel and know if this person travels, he will use this book well. Okay, so let's say you have 5 children and there's one that is the smart one that they know if he goes abroad, he's going to study well to show himself approved. I'm quoting the Bible again. And then when he comes back, he's going to be able to use that opportunity to make something that he can, be on his own and sponsor his siblings to go abroad. Is that not the smartest thing? Rather than say, oh, okay, and we sponsored you to go to secondary school. No. Even though you are the smartest one, you go and learn carpentry. Then let Kofi, who is not as smart as you, let him go to university because it was your turn. No. Is they are going to take you because
you're not getting me.
You just said something
right. No. So you got it to a point, but you missed it. For that person who has the opportunity now to go to the abroad, while he's in the UK studying anything as a result of that opportunity, if there are other opportunities now come to the family while he's in abroad, will you consider some other person? I'm asking.
So are you saying that the best person in that family would not be selected or what?
No, the best person you have given the best opportunity that came and is in the UK going for his study. If there are other opportunities that came because he's not available, and you cannot give him again while he's there, somebody must take it here.
Of course, you give it to somebody here because that other person has had this.
That is what I'm saying.
He has moved.
That is what I'm saying.
He's no longer.
He has moved.
Yeah, he has gone.
Which means he has taken now. He has taken.
Yes, but if he's still around, you give him, won't you? If he's still around, won't you give him? Okay, so see my point here. My point is that this whole zoning arrangement, this whole zoning formula is what has led a lot of people to feel, if you go there in power, if I get into power, that you're meant to be serving and servicing and attending to just those in your geopolitical zone or in your state. In fact, some people who hold on, sir. Some people, the failure. Sorry, to just one last statement, if I can. The failure in this zoning arrangement is if they say, "Oh, a south person should go there, or a southeast, or northeast, or north central, or southwest." In fact, it gets to a point where in that geopolitical zone, he does not look at people from that other states outside his own state. Sometimes,
Now, I'm not doubting you, but I think both of us are speaking from the same point of view, but maybe arriving differently. And I want to. That brings me back to what
we are saying different things.
Leposi said earlier on. These things, not that we are dictating that the zoning is okay, but we are talking about Nigeria is large. If Nigeria is not like how will I put it, Cameroon. Okay, now even look at Cameroon. They have the English-speaking part and the French-speaking part. Countries that can actually go without this zoning thing are countries that have a unique or same peculiarity. Not like in Nigeria where you have, just imagine, even within the South, we have zoning because even within the South, we have the Southwest, we have the South-South, and we have the Southeast. Even in the North, you say North, one language, they have the North Central, they have the Northwest, and they have the.
Okay.
They still have
So I want to ask you, Isu, what do you say is the benefit of zoning again? Please remind me.
The benefit of zoning is ensure that power goes around the various geopolitical regions.
So I didn't hear you well. What did you say is the benefit of zoning again? Please remind me.
The benefit of the zoning system is for a large country like Nigeria to carry every section in the country along. Because if you leave it at the mercy of humans, one particular zone will continue to have it all without the other. Because
so I want to find out from you. So if someone gets, the idea now is that if someone gets into office, he or she can now cater to his zone people.
I wouldn't say no. That is not no. When once you are there.
When you say carry along, how do you mean?
No, when I mean carry along is okay. Now, we are partners who owns this country. We should also feel the sense of belonging that we are okay. Now you can hear the Igbos. Igbos are agitating that 2023 is meant for them. Why are they saying so? Their son also fought for the liberation of the country.
Okay, so I'm saying, what is the idea of allowing everybody to be there to taste power? Be carried along. Is
the idea is for everybody to feel to be carried along.
Okay, so when the person gets there, is the person now going to now cater to his geopolitical zone members, people from that zone?
Ordinarily, once you get to the power, irrespective of the zone you're coming from, the zone, it becomes irrelevant. As at that point, you are the president. You are the president of the country, both south, west, and north.
So wherein lies this whole concept or idea of carrying everybody? Make sure your people are carried along. If you're not going to be preferential to your people, then.
If you ask me that question, then I will tell you what is happening in the UN. They call it United Nations. A Ghanaian, being Kofi Annan, has become the president. The Korean has become the president. Why are they shifting it up and down if they don't want the countries that are involved in the United Nations to be carried along? Why are they shifting it up and down? Because the president.
Yeah, but United Nations is a multilateral organization. It's not a country.
Same thing with Nigeria. I'm coming ideology.
Okay, so I'd like to find out from you. Do you think that when Kofi Annan stood as president or stood for election to be the
Africa felt among?
No, sir. Was it that Kofi Annan was it was only Africans who were put up for that position? It was it is Africa's turn or what?
No. That was not the idea. Okay, I must still trickle it down now to the World Bank president today now that Egypt is floating. Their person, Nigeria is also bringing Okonjo-Iweala. If Okonjo-Iweala should succeed today that position, it doesn't mean she is to favor Nigerians. It is just making Nigerians feel that, indeed, we too are part of this organization. But as at that point, she's representing the world. That is where I'm coming from.
So
it doesn't mean that when the person...
Yeah, but Kofi Annan was not... They didn't say, it's the turn of Africans. Or maybe people...
No.
Maybe those who are voting might feel that. But in the UN, they didn't say that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying if they are saying so. But Kofi Bartels, let us just be frank. Even areas where they didn't have this verbal agreement that 2 years go to South Korean man or Asian, 2 years go to the UK, 3 years go to Africa and co. Do you know that even within them, they have the natural feelings within them that after a nation man has handled the position for 4 years, even within the board members, they will sit and say, I think this time around we should go to an African person.
You have a point. You have a point. You have a great point.
Yeah, with their conscience, they will sit and say, I think we as a World Health Organization, we have had our president from Europe, we have had our president from Australia, we've had our president from Asia, we've had our president from the CONCACAF, and not just name it, America. Don't you think as humans forming this board,
okay, so Izu, an African has never been the president of FIFA. The last president of FIFA was from Switzerland. The current president of FIFA is from Italy or where?
God bless you. God bless you.
No African has been there. So what are we talking about?
Point. When the late Cameroonian, what was his name, the former CAF president, Issa Hayatou, contested for the position of FIFA, what was the real campaign slogan from the African sector? I want to ask you this question.
You tell me. I can't remember.
Africans had a campaign like, an African has never been there.
But did they put him there? But they didn't put him there.
No, that's what.
Because hold on, sir. Because in FIFA, they felt that Infantino was the best person for the job. They felt that they felt that Hayatou himself was part of the problem with was the former FIFA president. I'm trying to remember his name. You know, they felt that they needed somebody who would come and just clean the place up because of the mess that this last guy, I can't remember his name now. Sepp Blatter engaged. Yeah, you know, so they went for Infantino as the most competent, and he was the most competent.
Candidate. Sometimes they say politics is everywhere, and when the game changers are involved, and your interest as at that moment is not at the peak of the game, definitely you may not have it. But I am telling you, time will come when the decision makers in FIFA will also look at it and say, it's just like hosting World Cup. South Africa became the first country to host World Cup. How did it happen if not for sympathy that
it wasn't just sympathy, my brother.
Okay. Kofi, let me ask one question.
No, don't agree with me. But it wasn't just sympathy.
No, I want to tell you something. If they are going for outright muzzling, finance, and popularity, do you think Africa will ever win a vote?
South Africa had a good bid. In fact, my brother, that 2010 World Cup was not the first time that South Africa had put itself out. Also, Morocco had also been vying for the World Cup for some time.
Why have they not been getting?
Good. And Morocco also vied with I think at some point with South Africa as well. You know, the South Africans had a good bid. They were not just giving because it's Africa. They had a good bid. And I tell you what, bro, for the 2006 World Cup that Germany won, South Africa put in a bid as well, and they weren't giving it. As a matter of fact, there was a scandal where a certain man, and that thing pained me. I was a youngster then. I felt so pained. There was a certain gentleman who received sort of like a bribe or something from New Zealand. The guys that were meant to be the guys who vote on a thing. They said that they passed something under his door in his hotel, and the New Zealander who had promised the South Africans that was going to vote for them went and voted for Germany, and that's how Germany won the World Cup. The Germans were actively campaigning, and even the 2010, the South Africans were actively campaigning. Everybody, so it wasn't given to them because they were Africans, but because they had a good campaign, and they worked hard, they lobbied, they met people, and they said, "Look, we have a good campaign." I tell you what, my brother, no country would ever be given the World Cup on sympathy if you are not if you are not competent enough.
Kofi, you may not agree with me because we are live on the studio. But let me tell you one thing: why is it that the Champions League finals is being shifted from Istanbul, Turkey, to England, Wembley, to Germany, Allianz Arena? If not for the countries that makes up Europe in UEFA to fill among, why are they rotating it? I know where I'm coming from this. I'm not saying that this thing should be the basis at which human beings are ruled. But when you look at the peculiarity of bringing people together to fill among, you call this person, this is the idea of, You call this person when it's time to walk, but when it's time to eat, you don't call him. That is when you discover that. You understand? That is why I say sometimes even those who make this rule, they have this soft nature to now change the rules to say,
before you go.
I think England has hosted World Cup. Let us give to
it doesn't work like that, bro. It doesn't work like that. They lobby. They lobby. Even this particular World Cup.
Politics is involved. Politics is involved.
They involve politics. They lobby. You know, we have even bribes.
One of the scandals that made Sepp Blatter's career, was it not part of the way the hosting right was given to South Africa?
So yes, no, not just South Africa, also Qatar as well. Yeah, you know,
Qatar. So that tells you politics is involved, and that's the human.
But it's not politics of it's their turn. It's politics of who can lobby well, who can make a good case, who can win more votes.
Okay, so if you bring that same idea you're talking now into politics, which means it may always there will be no tenure even, because as President Muhammadu Buhari now is finishing, he may finish well, and people may say, for the fact that he has finished well, the constitution says 2 tenure. So for the fact that he has done very well and he has lobbied very well, he can extend to 3 tenure, and this is what has kept Egypt in the hands of. I'm telling you.
I have a question for you. And I asked you a question in Ruben before you go, because we're almost out of time, which you've not answered, which is,
okay,
when the person from a particular geopolitical zone is put there, you're saying that it's because it's for the people from that place to feel among, or to be carried along, and to feel part of the country. So I said, so when he gets there, he has to then be preferential to his people. Otherwise, how else would they feel? So if he, I'm coming, sir. And you've not answered this question, which is, if he's not preferential, he's not biased towards his geopolitical zone, how else would they feel among? How would they feel carried along? Would they feel like they are there?
Do you know that in the record or in the history of Nigeria, that is where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from the benefit.
Okay, so it should be on the record. So I want to find out. You see the problem with this idea is that we just want it to be on paper, Abi, that a Southeast man became president. But what about the impact?
The impact is a different thing. I am not supporting that. Normally, like I told you, 3 persons fought to make Nigeria what it is. Now, on the record, we know history tells us these are the 3 persons from the Igbo, the Yoruba, and the Hausa. But when you go to record now, if they go in now, they say an Igbo man has not become a president. It looks lopsided. I am not saying that when they get there, their performance is I know their performance has not gone well, but ordinarily, I'm telling you, that's why the earlier person who wrote the message told you that we are not matured enough. If we are matured enough, irrespective of the zone you come as a president, once you amount that seat as a president, you take the interest of the country at heart and make sure you develop all sectors of the country.
Ruben, so if come 2023, you know, everybody's saying it's southeast. You know, even a good friend and former governor, Rochi Amechi, says he's reminding everybody he's an Igbo man. Let's not go there. Say you have an Igbo men and women on the ballot paper. And you have someone from maybe, let's say, Kwara State.
Yeah.
Who is so qualified. When the man speaks, you know, this guy is the best guy for the job. You know, Kwara is in North Central. I mean, it doesn't make sense because they're like Yorubas anyway, but, well, they're North Central. Yeah. And the guy is like the campaigns, he's just making sense. You know, it's like Nigeria has never seen such a politician before. That this kind of person is going to come and clean the country up and just make Nigeria El Dorado based on his messages. There are other good candidates from the Southeast, but this guy is so exceptional. You're telling me you're going to say, okay, this guy's exceptional, it's the best candidate, but I'm going to vote for this good person from the Southeast because it's their turn. It's their turn.
You have asked a tough question, but that question you asked me, I will answer it from 2 ways. If we are in a Western world where I know that things are done well, I will go for the Kwara State man. But if I come to Nigeria where I know how our things are done here, I will go for the man from the East.
Hold on. when you say you know how things are done here, how do you mean? Like this guy from Kwara State now is going to just be the best. Like, you know, this guy from what he said and from your intelligence, listening to him and his track record, that this is just going to come and do a fantastic job. This you know why so I'm coming, sir. One of those people that are once in a generation candidates. Once in a lifetime, that you will only see one of such candidates in your lifetime.
Yes, I agree with you. That's why I answered that question from a two side, because I don't want to be the second Adams Oshomole who saw this man to be extremely credible. But in the next election, I believe that they say you will never know a man until you give him power and money. And we have seen what power and money have turned our credible, qualified persons here in Africa to become a tyrant and a dictator compared to the Western world, where when you give somebody who is qualified a position, you see what he makes use of it. That's why I answered you from the two sectors. I said if it is in the Western world, I will give it to the man from Kwara, because I believe that the person who he is before becoming a president, he will make use of it and turn the country overnight. But when it comes to Africa, nobody has ever been qualified. They are only qualified before they amount to the seat. Once they get to the seat, they turn to Obaseki of the Adams Oshomole. I never knew he was not like this. Who have we not seen? So it's quite complicated. Your question, I understand where you're coming from, but indeed, in Nigeria, let us just go ahead with what we think is best for us. We shouldn't be copying from the Western world. All
right, it's fine. It's okay. We shouldn't but we're copying democracy from them. Ruben, you've spoken very well. I want to thank you for your time.
I'm still waiting to hear from you.
No problem. We went on the break. We are going to expand it. You know, we're having more. All of we will even go out, hit the street, hit some communities.
Find time now. Find time. Let's
we'll find time. I've not been around. We'll find time.
I'm there.
All
yeah,
right.
my man.
yes. Ruben.
Right,
happy birthday in arrears once again.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.
We celebrate you. Thank you for your time. That was a long one. Anyway, there's a long one. I want to read some messages here. Oh, I can see Kenneth. Okay. Legboss is saying is back. Daniel Chi Dubem Buje. Good evening to you, my brother. You're reaching us from I think the United States or UK, somewhere like that. Legboss is saying joined us. Good evening. Okay, you already put up a comment that has been giving us a lot to talk about, Legbossy. Kenneth Ibiayeme says in Nigeria we've lived with this notion about my zone must be, and says and this should be seen as a contributive. Okay. Oh, whoa, Queen Shoma, how you doing? Yeah, nice to see you today, and thanks for your comment. Good evening to you as well, Queen. Let's talk soon. Great. All right, we're streaming live on Facebook, live on Twitter, live on YouTube, and live on Instagram. We hope to add what do we call it again? LinkedIn. In the time in time to come, maybe very soon this week we'll do that. But I want to read a comment on Twitter here. It's not every day we have comments on Twitter, so this one is precious to me. The day we start having hundreds of comments, we would remind them that there was a time we weren't having comments at all. Celestine Range says competence alone, where we are because of zoning. If we must get it right as a nation, we have to retrace our steps to competence. I agree with the word retrace because we were there at some point. But Izu Ruben has raised some important, points to note, which we cannot, ignore. But anyway, Afenifere and Kua replying Mamandara. I think I have an article here I would like to read. Okay, so this was after Mamandara made his comment. It's his own opinion, which he's entitled to. But because, of course, he is the nephew of the president and part of his kitchen cabinet in code, like some have alleged he is, people take his words to mean a lot. So the Yoruba socio-cultural group Afenifere condemned the position of President Buhari's nephew, Mamandara, who said competence should be placed above zoning arrangement in the 2023 presidential election. Anyone listening from another country would wonder why people would want to attack somebody who says we should use competence to choose Nigeria's next president. Because, competence is what is, celebrated and promoted in other parts of the world. So an outsider hearing something like this, a Yoruba social-cultural group saying, condemning somebody who is trying to promote competence, they'll be like, what is wrong with these people? But issues are really peculiar in this part of the world. Afenifere rejected Dara's position, saying the country must continue with a common understanding of power rotation between the North and the South. The spokesman of the group, Joe Dumakin, in a telephone interview, said the South was not unmindful of the fact that the North would want to give a shot again at the presidency after Buhari. According to him, the South envisages many candidates to indicate interest in the presidency in 2023, but the country must stand firm and respect the zoning arrangement. Okay, so that's that. I don't know. Can we ever get back to the point where we have, competence, where we have everybody just come out and whoever is selected wins? I mean, in the 1993, election, that democratic period where we had, Abiola and his opponent. I'm trying to remember the name right now. Was it Bashir Tofa? Right. It's been a long time ago now. There was nothing like zoning because Abiola was from the south and the other guy was from the north, but everybody just went out to vote. In 1993, everybody just went out to vote. Nobody knew what was South-South. So what is South-South? There's nothing in geography called South-South. Check your map. Check your geography textbooks. There's nothing called South-South. You have north, south, east, and west. Northeast, northwest. Southeast, southwest. There's only like north central in the geography. And there's only like north central or north or south in Nigeria's constitution. Definitely not. So we need to retrace our steps and get back to those times. Let's see if we have some more comments on. I can see Mimi Ayo on Instagram. Mimi, thank you very much for your kind comment. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And keep up the good work. Okay, any other comments? Okay, that's one comment on Instagram. I think I've read the comment on Twitter. Let's see what we have on Facebook. I think I've read all the comments on Facebook. Lois Eze. Is it Lois? Okay. Lois Eze, I believe, is Lois. Okay, it's an I, yeah. Lois Eze, thank you very much for your comment. I sincerely appreciate it. Queen Choma, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We will catch up soon. Okay. I'm trying to be like you, huh? Maybe you give me some tips when we talk next time. How many minutes have we done so far? This is 1 hour and 3 minutes. Okay. I wish we had time to look at the issue of hydroxychloroquine. We might do that tomorrow. I'll get a doctor and we talk about what exactly is hydroxychloroquine. We'll talk about that tomorrow because it's really trending in Nigeria. My name is Kofi Patels. That's what you can take on Late Night Talk. Zoning versus competence. Competence, like someone said. But Nigeria's issues are peculiar. And, they feel that people need to be given a chance. Maybe we should just allow the Southeast to produce the next president. After that, we now decide, okay, you know what? No more zoning. Everybody just, go ahead and choose who you want to choose. But, it's going to be difficult for the country to operate. Even the political parties, they've arranged their party positions on this 6 geopolitical zones thing. Excuse me, which is something else. Anyway, we have to go. I'll leave you in the dependable hands of former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole, and then the man who hopes to also be in that position as governor of Edo State come the next election just around the corner, Pastor Izeyamo, who are going to entertain us with a dance. My name is Kofi Patels. For now, I'm just going to drink water and mind my business. I suggest you do the same. Good night.
I scored 94% of the total vote cast. Across the 77 wards, I won all the wards in Edo South. If you have been so generous to me, why can't I give you my all? Even my local government, I didn't get that. I got 86. I could go on and on and on. So, when I had the opportunity to nominate the first ambassador, I nominated Uyi Igbe. And I'm happy of the 12 ambassadors retained. Uyi Igbe, who was our speaker, is one of the ambassadors that are retained on merit. on merit. So I want to assure you, I apologize for my poor judgment. As they say, you can never know human being until he has money and he has power. Then his true color comes out. So if those who told me that this man will betray, they have turned out to be true. God has a reason for keeping me alive and well and strong, so that working with you, your highnesses, we will correct the mistake and bring someone who will make up for lost time. Everything I was doing for the Eniges, I'm sure Pastor Yamu will return it. Those annual meetings, he will return it.